We are live, y'all. Well, what can I say? I mean, I don't know if anybody is gonna show up, but I mean, I gotta give shout outs what shout out and credit's due. I mean, that's all I can say right now. I mean, for those who come in later or watch it later, the shout outs go to two people, and these two people couldn't have been right on both of their two subjects. So let's start with number one, and I don't even know where to begin with this one. I'm just gonna say the name, Ben Napple. I don't know if you're gonna watch this stream, but if you watch it, man, you hit the nail on the head, my guy. And you may be asking why I say that. You made a statement a while back ago when the court document came out with the court photos. And if you go back to that court document with the PDF file stuff, there were three exact words you mentioned, and you questioned it. And you questioned why would those three words be important. Well, I'll tell you why. But I want you to think about this. Think about those three words very closely and go back to the Thrill of Chase, this chapter of where it talks about the bells and jars. There's something very precise and particular to the T with those three words of Skippy Donna Creighton. And when you see it, it will stick out like a sore thumb. And I mean, Ben Napple, you couldn't have been right any more right on that one. I mean, holy fucking shit. I mean, when I saw it, my eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, holy shit. I was like, why didn't I think of that? I mean, that's fucking genius. That's just pure fucking genius. I mean, he gave the answer of why those three words are precise and why they stick out like a sore thumb. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about and don't own this little chase, I'll tell you why. Skippy Donna Creighton. Well, it goes back to the birds and the bees. You do the deed, you plant the seed. So Donna and Skippy created Creighton. Think about that for a second. Skippy and Donna created Creighton. And that's why Skippy, Donna, Creighton would be important. Part of the story when it comes to that. And not to also mention, if you go back to Through the Thrill of the Chase, you'll find something even more interesting. Forrest Fenn says, and I quote, and I haven't really ever mentioned this before, I wish we would have buried Skippy standing up. Think about that for a very quick second. I want you to take a deep thought real quick and why I asked that question. It's a very precise question. Now, if you go back, there's a postmark somewhere in Wyoming. And who's in that picture, might I ask? Well, if you guessed right, Skippy. Standing up somewhere in Wyoming. Oh, maybe it's at the spot location where Forrest Fenn hit his treasure chest. Never thought of that? Probably not. Now you have. And Forrest says in particular, and like I said in my post on my community page, there's two things I said, two things I never said before. Forrest Fenn hit his sorry, I'm reading a message from Messenger. Two things I never said before. One, Forrest Fenn hid his treasure chest and put him below the old one-room cabin, which is where he stayed in during his times, or during the summers when him and his family went to Yellowstone, where his parents and great-grandparents had their cabin motel camps. And then this is the best part. And just so there's proof, and so it's not like I'm making up some shit, I'll show you the Skippy Donna Creighton, and I've written it down in my book. Well, not my book, but Amy York Fletcher's book. But she has all the answers now, and she will always have it forever now. But I'm going to go to it. Let me show you something. There's two particular things. Well, actually, one particular thing. But I want to show you the Skippy Donnie Creighton one, so you think I'm not making this shit up off the bat. Shit, this book is so fucking old. All right, here we are. Okay, let's turn the camera around, shall we? Let's go to settings. Wait, that'll work. Camera facing back. Nope, wrong one. Facing back. No, oh. There we go. Okay, so what does that say? Skippy, Donnie, Creighton. And Skippy's son is Creighton Finn. Hence Skippy, Donnie, Creighton. See, I'm not making that up. And then I'm gonna. What can I use to? Give me a second. I'm gonna find something to. I'm gonna use this coin book because I want y'all to think about this when I show it. Oh my god! I don't know this fucking damn old son's big shit. So you see it. Forrest Finn says, "Come and see my shining palace built upon the sand." Now, I want y'all to think about this really quickly. A shining palace upon the sand, built upon the sand. What's that in the background? Sand, right? Now, let's dive even deeper. Let's go to what chapter? Oh, the Lewis and Clark chapter. I'll show you why. Obviously, you got the X page, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna go through all this stuff, all this good stuff. Well, what page was it? Oh yeah, I'll show you Buffalo Cowboys. That's the chapter I was thinking about. Lewis and Clark chapter. So obviously, you got these two pictures from the Lewis and Clark chapter. This is someone like Hannah, but that's bullshit. And if you remember, going off Jack Stoof, he said, Forrest wrote what was it, something about, let me pull up medium.com. I get the exact quote. Maybe y'all can quote it better than I can right now because I got so much on my mind right now. But it was something along the lines of him remembering about a journey or something like that. Let's see. I'm going to type in my computer because I got a computer luckily on hand that I can access. I just put Jack computer. What the fuck? No, but I should put Jack Stoof. What the fuck? I can't type with damn. Let's see. It's probably in one of the mails, I believe. What? It'll probably take me a while. There was something along the lines of his journey or something like that. I think it was when he talked about the 15-year comment, I think it was. When someone asked about the 15-year comment. I know when Peter wants to fucking lag like a motherfucker. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it like a freaking hawk. I'm looking for the keyword of the damn journey shit. I'm looking for it. Try number 2. So actually, I tell you what. Before I found the 15-year comment in the journey, I'll read this. To me, you need evidence that he intended something to be a hint in order to consider it as such, and I was happy to leave legitimate hints on the table if they didn't meet that high burden of proof. It's also important to note that he once gave us an idea of how many hints were in the field chase, and it wasn't very many. Going back to the conversation last night on the Streets channel, to answer Chief's question, Chief and Street's question about the 9 clues and how would we know it was a hint and a clue. Sean, for me, it was from connecting the dots and seeing the evidence. Evidence it was the place he wanted to die, and evidence he saw the path there the way he described seeing it in the poem. But he did say something about a journey. I forget where the fuck it was, though. It was somewhere. In one of his articles in Medium. I forget which one, though. I'm looking hardcore for it. It's on the genetics. Okay, so it was 15 years time. It was something on a journey. I forget what the fuck it was. Maybe it's in number 3. Oh, it's interesting. No, everybody missed this one. So Jack's answer, based about the hints and the clues. Based on his description of hints, a hint is meant to help you with a clue, not the whole poem. But I guess it'll help you with defining each clue is in the poem, not the whole poem as a whole. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. I found it. I found it. James, Forrest didn't share your exact interest in puzzles. He did not set out to create an intricate puzzle designed to satisfy people who are interested in such things. It's a different thing. A very personal poem that depicts how he saw this place and the journey there. No, it doesn't include confirmers as you described. So the poem depicts how he saw the place when he first in his journey when he first made his journey there. That's what I was looking for. But I know at one point he does mention about 15 years about people uh, digging too deep in the 15-year comment that they're overlooking it or something like that. I forget what it was. So yeah, obviously when it's the journey stuff, I mean I think about it, Lewis and Clark, right? Searching for Lewis and Clark, looking for Lewis and Clark, right? And so it all looks like a sandy area and a forested sandy area, right? We'll get to the Buffalo Cowboys next. So going on about the journey, let's flip the camera back. Actually, no, let's keep it here. Let's keep it here. Where was it? Maybe it'll be pulled up in my Google Images or photos. What's talking about? Let me go back. I think it's the other one. So Coulter, who was John Coulter, who was a part of the Lewis and Clark expedition. And as it's known, John Coulter went through a place called Coulter's Hell, which is where Old Trail Town was located. Hence this picture. It says Coulter arrived back at Fort Raymond, and few believed his reports of geysers, bubbling mud pots, and steaming pools of water. His reports of these features were often ridiculed at first, and the region was something jokingly referred to as Coulter's Hell. The area Coulter described is now widely believed to be immediately west of Cody, Wyoming. And though thermal activity exists there, other reports from around the period when Coulter was there also indicate observations similar to those Coulter had originally described. The exact location of Coulter's Hell remains partially contested, as the name could have been applied to several different areas prone to geothermal activity. It is commonly believed that Coulter's Hell referred to the region of the stinking water known as the Stone River, particularly the section running through Cody. The river's original title was thanks to presence of sulfur in the surrounding area, whose detailed exploration of this region is the first by a white man of what later became the state of Wyoming. And obviously, it does get in that same article way back upwards. It talks about John Coulter being part of the Lewis and Clark expedition. So, without further ado, let's read this. I'll read it to you. So, obviously, above on this, stuff that's cut up on the top, it talks about the whole history of the whole charity fund or whatever, like the 501c, whatever that kept the Trail Town alive. When it was obviously after Bob Edgar passed. And so for those who don't know, Bob Edgar hired George Dobbich to be a part of Old Trail Town, which was a what do they call it? Fuck. They called it it was what the fuck was it called? Fuck. There was a name for it, a particular name. Oh fuck. I'm drawing a blank. It was something for hunting or something like that, like hunting tours. I forget what it's called. Outfitters Company or something like that. That's what it was called, Outfitters Company. And what it was like, where obviously Bob Edgar and George Dobbich would give hunting tours, kind of similar to like how Forrest Fenn would do with the whole Don Martinez thing, where they go in the backyard and give fly fishing tours as tour guides. So obviously this is kind of talking about Bob Edgar's cremation and all that. So without further ado, let's read it. Cremation has occurred with ashes being dispersed privately at locations due to the deceased, with the portion reserved for Trailtown proper. Public services there will be Saturday, May 12th at 1 p.m. Non-denominational, with remembrances to follow. Trailtown will be open free of charge to the public that day. Footnote: All history requires footnotes. On Tuesday, April 24th of 2012, a small group of Bob Edgar's immediate family and closest friends gathered at the neck of a windy canyon between the west end of probably what was YU Bench, which I think YU stands for Yellowstone Union, obviously the Yellowstone Union Pacific Railroad Bench, and Dry Creek, which is where Forrest Fenn hid his treasure chest. Obviously, I think Matisse is just bullshit. At the site of a hidden cabin, at the site of a hidden cabin on the old outlaw trail across Wyoming, probably frequented by the likes of Butch Cassidy 125 years earlier. Half of Bob Edgar's ashes were given back to the earth amid some spoken words, a few songs, and a retort of 3 Colt 45 pistols not far from Bob's beloved childhood home in the Sandstone Hills. Sandstone Hills in Cedar Breaks of Wyoming, where his heart has always lived and will live forever. Let me reiterate, in the Sandstone Hills. Let's go back to what we were first talking about with the bells and jars, shall we? And I really want you to think about this. Come and see my shining palace built upon the sand. I'm going to remove the book. Important for final location, resting place of Forrest Fenn's. That's why I covered that up. Because I wanted you to think about it before I gave the answer away. So think about it. It goes back to everything I've been saying. It wasn't just one person's cabin, one person's or business's cabin. Once was Don's, then was Harold McCracken's, then was also Bob Edgar's and George Jovich's cabin, and then before, but obviously, so in order, I'll give you the order. Victor Arland, who then gave it to Bob Edgar, then Bob Edgar, I think maybe then gave it to probably Don Martinez, and then Don Martinez probably gave it to Yeah, Don Martinez probably sold it to Pat Barnes. Then Pat Barnes more than likely sold it to Harold McCracken. And that's your answer. And then from Harold McCracken, it was given to Forrest Fenn through Harold McCracken's will. So there you have it, y'all. There you have it. Anyways, I gotta continue getting ready for my dinner with my family because we're celebrating my sister's sister getting a new job. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, I gotta give shout outs to 2 people. Chief from Streets Channel last night for giving me the idea of, and usually I don't think much. Well, I say phrase I do. I think a lot, but I gotta give props to Chief for actually making me contemplate and think on behalf of what was it? He made me think about something. Oh, the bells and jars. Yes, the bells and jars, and people finding them and shit, and how we can locate them. And it really made me think. And when I figured it out, it was like, holy shit. And I had to give props to Ben when I saw the Skippy Donna Creighton in the book. And then obviously Skippy's son, Thomas Creighton Finn underlined. And I went, holy shit. It really, a lot of information just then clicked. I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, damn. Why did I think of that? That's brilliant. But anyways, I'm going to go save this face before my mom gives me hell on it before I go over there. And then I got to start getting ready, which I'm ready pretty much. I just got to, shave, and then probably that's about it. And then brush my teeth. I haven't brushed my teeth yet, but I got to do that. And I'm wearing my cowboy hat because then it'll piss her off with my sweet leather jacket. So y'all take care. Peace out. Y'all stay cool, be classy, and as always, y'all be sweet now. I'm out. Peace.